All right, you're with BS with Joe.
I'm gonna throw left turn at you.
Oh, I like left turns. Why go right all the time?
Exactly.
NASCAR.
Have you ever heard of the Dark Exchange?
No, I have not.
Okay, so back in, I don't remember exactly when it happened. I think it was in the 70s.
Okay.
Basically, it's an underground securities exchange. Okay, so all the heavy hitters, all of the billionaires and multimillionaires do their exchanges through this dark exchange, and it actually had a name. I don't remember exactly what the name is right now, but the point is, so they move billions of dollars left, right, up, down, and it never shows or never changes anything in the regular stock market.
Okay.
So, like, for
So
example,
they can even change commodities.
yes, that's what I'm talking about.
So they could even
So
do
they
human
can-
trafficking in that.
Yes,
Oh,
they
holy
could.
shit.
They could.
Okay.
They could sell billions of dollars worth of Apple stock, for example, and the American or the regular person looking at their stock market would never see a fluctuation. But the fact is, the actual price of Apple just went down here.
Yeah.
So the reason I'm bringing it up is because it's been rising. This dark exchange has been rising in its popularity, or the amount of trades happening in dark versus in the public eye. Okay, the public exchanges have been declining, and the dark exchange has been rising. This past month, the dark exchange passed the public exchange in amount of volume, which means that basically the entire world is being gaslit by billionaires.
Oh yeah. You're not telling me anything that I haven't already kind of thought of, or
The SEC knows about this.
Yeah. And the thing is, how is it that we have human trafficking here in the U.S. that's been documented?
Orlando is the number 3 city in the world for human trafficking.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Well, you look at
I just heard that on the radio the other day.
There's even movies that hint on it. That are indie films that were filmed here in Florida on that. There's part of the reason why I think they wanted to keep open borders.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And
Because there's big money in it, unfortunately.
oh yeah. Well, here's another thing too. You look at individuals like Hunter Biden. He had to be involved in that. How did he get all these drugs and all these prostitutes? He doesn't know the individuals right away. He has to be part of something like that. And that's also how did he get on the board of Burisma whenever he has no information on any of that?
Right. Look at Jeffrey Epstein.
Epstein. Look at P. Diddy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that he was really.
He may not have into it, but he could have been.
He could have.
With information and the power he has.
Yeah.
Anybody who has power, true power, can easily do this dark exchange. All you have to do is all talk about it underneath the table. So that way the FCC doesn't get involved.
Well, the SEC is involved. They're aware of it. They know what's going on with it.
Oh, wow.
But the thing is, as the dark exchange gains in popularity, more and more people get priced out of it.
Yeah.
So it's getting to the point where millionaires are no longer part of the dark exchange. It's only billionaires and higher.
Well, that goes hand in hand with the amount of velocity of our government printing all this money.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: anybody who thinks that they could interact with billionaires and all this other stuff, walk down the street and interact with them on a daily basis, you'll never interact with them.
No.
They see us as plebes. Yeah, and that's even millionaires they even see as plebes. because they're beneath them. And here's the thing that I kind of wanted to go with Twitter, the blue check mark. How do you get that blue check mark? Well, here's the thing. I'm sure that they paid some Twitter executive off, or someone from Twitter said, okay, well, we need this guy to be verified. Let me make a phone call. Verify him. Oh, don't verify these people. We don't like them.
Right.
And so that's, that was their hidden club that they were exclusive in.
Yeah.
Elon Musk smashed that and pissed them
He
off.
destroyed it. Yeah.
When you're, $8, we can give you a blue check mark.
Yeah.
Just totally destroyed that whole, because you used to be able to get into places and do things if you had a blue check mark on your Twitter account.
Right.
Speaking of that, with the White House, Trump's all in trouble because he's kicked certain individuals out of his press, the press room for his questioning and answering with the press secretary.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, and everybody's like, oh, it's our First Amendment right to hear what he has to say and ask him questions. Well, how come there hasn't been a popular influencer like Tim Pool in there to ask him questions?
Exactly. Yeah, the press wants exclusive rights.
Right. And so there's this committee that has these rights to say, oh, you're allowed, you're not allowed, you're not allowed. Right. Trump kicked them out. Mm-hmm. Because how do you know they weren't getting kickbacks from these organizations?
Exactly. Well, when Trump was in his campaign, he had said he didn't want a White House press secretary.
No.
He said he wasn't going to need one.
He wasn't going to need one.
Yeah.
But he's a very busy man. He's been doing a lot. And
he has been. He did end up having a press secretary,
mm-hmm.
but...
And she's a damn good
the reason that he wasn't going to have a press secretary is because he wasn't going to allow the press in.
No, because he knows the press hates him.
Yeah.
And
I'm glad that he did allow the press in.
Right.
And it's funny watching her deal with the press because she just slaps them all the time.
Oh, yeah.
She doesn't pull back.
No.
And that's... I like her.
Yeah. And FBI with Kash Patel getting in front of it, hopefully he'll go and investigate these things.
And Dan Bongino.
And man, I got a lot of respect for that man. Here's the thing. Him having his own podcast, one of the largest podcasts in the world. Mm-hmm. He makes millions. He could fly on private jets, go anywhere with that show and do anything.
Yeah.
And what is he doing? He is being a civil servant, taking a pay cut to investigate.
Actually, he told them he wasn't going to take the salary.
Yeah, he probably wasn't.
Yeah.
And that's an American.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if you don't know, Dan Bongino, you might think he's just a podcaster. No, he's not just a podcaster. This man was a member of the Secret Service.
Mm-hmm.
He was a member of the police for years. And he has been on the presidential protection detail.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what's going on. And he actually, they were considering him for Secret Service director.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with where he ended up, assistant director or deputy director of the FBI. I think that's an excellent place for him to be.
He knows where the bodies are buried, and he knows how to find them.
Yes. And
he can't be bought.
He won't be bought.
He won't be bought.
He's got enough money.
Yeah. But he could have continued making more money with where he was at.
But then, I mean, what was it? Who was the one that I sent you the salary of? It wasn't Schumer, was it? Was it Cheney?
It may have been Cheney or Schumer.
One of them. But their congressional salary was like $192,000 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And their net worth after just a few years in office is over $40 million.
It may have been AOC or something.
Yeah, it just doesn't add up.
No, it doesn't. And that and they're saying, oh, it's because they made these stock market purchases.
That's insider trading, then.
Yeah, it is insider trading. Pelosi's been doing it. Dan Cranshaw's been doing it. All these.
Well, Pelosi's actually under fire for that. She's actually facing charges for insider trading.
Oh yeah, any congressman who does that should be facing charges.
Right.
Because it's stock market. It's clearly stock market manipulation.
Yeah.
You know it's going to come to the floor. You know when it comes to the floor, and you know if it's going to pass or fail. And so you either pump and you dump, and that's what they do.
You remember the GameStop thing?
Oh yeah.
Okay. When Robinhood froze it, the rest of the trading was all on the dark exchange.
Yeah. Well, and
it continued to be traded. Mm-hmm. And what was it? Another $80 million moved hands after the regular people were not allowed to trade anymore.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's the thing is GameStop is still a value, I believe, because there's still consoles being made, there's still discs and games being made, and people still want to trade them and buy them and sell them.
Well, yeah.
I watched a short about a Xbox 360. It had the original operating system on it. Actually goes for a lot of money because somebody wants the original operating system on them, either for jailbreaking or whatever, because it's easier to do with the original interface.
Okay.
And the only way to change it is by updates. But once you update to a new interface, you can't ever go back to that old interface. That's why those are valued.
Yeah.
And GameStop, they purchase those, they know what the values are, and they sell them. And so I honestly believe, as long as things like that exist, that company could still make money. Now, it may be harder for them to make money, but it's a possibility.
They're not what they were pre-cloud.
Pre-cloud, yeah. With cloud gaming, I admit I do a lot of cloud gaming. I no longer buy discs and sell them and the reason why is whenever I gamed and did that is I wasn't getting the return on my investment.
Well, the new consoles don't even have disk drives.
No, the new PlayStation 5 consoles don't even have disk drives. You have to purchase it separately.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think there's even an option on the Xbox.
There is, but the new one I don't know.
I don't think there is. Anyway, so my point on the dark exchange is we don't even know what the S&P 500 is.
Because at this point, stocks are all probably manipulated.
Yeah.
You look at the price of gold. Gold has gone skyrocketing, and that's the thing is like I've been hearing a lot of things like, things are starting to get rough, and probably come March, April, late March, early April, or even into May, finances are probably going to get harder. And
a lot of people are bailing out of their investments right now.
Yeah. And
which is going to cause some of the crash.
Oh yeah, and that's and that's the thing that scares me is I want to keep my job. I want my wife to keep her job. My sister, I don't have to worry about her with her job because she owns her own business. But
government buses are still going to run.
Government buses are still going to run. I could probably get a job doing that. I could also probably go get a job in the oil field if I really needed to. Things are going to get hard. It's going to be getting hard to find jobs. And that's where if you're a blue collar worker and you have a skill or a trade, you're going to be in true value.
Well, yeah. Mike Rowe's not wrong.
No, he isn't. And that's the thing is like I'm kind of curious with this dark exchange if the left is wanting to burn it all down because they can't control it anymore.
I don't know that anybody in government has enough money to even be on this dark exchange.
They may not.
Elon does.
Elon does.
Bill Gates does.
Bill Gates
That's
does.
the kind of money we're talking about.
Yeah. Even Trump may even have a hard time getting onto there because he's only got $3 billion.
No, I think he'd be fine.
He'd be fine. He'd be able to, but he wouldn't be able to do much.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people out there that are close to trillionaires. We're probably going to see a trillionaire, probably within the next couple of months.
Maybe.
If stocks keep going the way they're going.
We don't. That's the thing. That's what I'm getting at. We don't even know what the stock market's doing anymore. Because the dark exchange is taking over. There's more trading happening outside the public eye than there is in the public eye.
Right. Well, and that's the thing is like the true value of things is what you're willing to work for it.
Yeah.
Because labor is always labor. If you really want to eat, you really want to get food, you'll go and do something. You'll sweep driveways, you'll mow lawns, you'll do something.
As long as the people that out there that need their driveway swept or their lawn mowed have the money to pay you.
Right, but the thing is, they don't have to pay you in cash.
Sure.
If there's a farmer and he's got chickens and he's got a coop and he needs a barn cleaned,
Mm-hmm.
he'll probably let you clean that barn for eggs.
Yeah.
And
Shovel the driveway for a couple of cans of food.
yeah, that's sad, but that's what our that's what the greatest generation had to deal with.
Yeah, that was the Great Depression.
Mm-hmm. They had to figure it out, and the only way for our country to
People
come
did
through,
die of starvation during the Great Depression.
oh yeah. Well, not just starvation, but consumption and other things.
Yeah.
That's where I think we're going to get a lot of morality come out, because when you see really harsh injustices, I haven't really seen a whole lot, but I know of injustices. I've seen a little bit of injustice. When you see that, it makes you want to go, okay, I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen to me. I don't want it to happen to anyone else. And so you can find compassion in yourself to help someone out. And we're going to need to be compassionate. We're going to need to help each other out. And
I highly recommend, though, if you have any interest at all in the stock market, look up the stock exchange. Learn about it.
yeah, I don't know much about it, but it scares the hell out of me, because then, because they can manipulate the market through the dark exchange.
That's what they do.
Overvalue things, undervalue things.
That's what they do.
And the government with the whole eggs thing, a lot of them are trying to push it off onto Trump, but a lot of it had to do with the bird flu. And I was looking up, there was some homesteading channels I follow.
It's not Trump's fault.
It's not, but also what the Food and Drug Administration was doing is like, oh, give these birds a flu test. Oh, they're positive. Bird flu. Call them.
Right.
It's a flu for birds, so birds are going to get the flu.
Yeah.
And
But it's a flu.
It's a flu.
Don't birds recover from the bird flu?
They do.
Why are we killing them all?
Because the government wants control. I think, honestly, they knew they weren't going to get the White House.
They're not going to eradicate the bird flu.
No. It's always going to be around.
Yeah.
I think what it is, they wanted to control the White House. They wanted to figure out a way of doing it. Or they wanted to create a situation where people are going to be really pissed off and need help and blame the government. So how are they going to do that? Oh, let's do the bird flu. Let's do this.
Let's raise the price of eggs.
Let's raise the price of eggs.
So it's market manipulation.
Right, because when eggs went up, it hurt Biden.
Well, yeah.
But that was through inflation.
Yeah.
And so they were like, oh, let's do it again.
Right.
So you want to call that as an end to this episode?
Yes, sir.
You want to do one more?
We've got notes here for 2 more.
Okay, let's do another one. Or 2 more.